Well, I have a mixer that functions beautifully, except the button that lifts the arm is stuck. So rather than throw it away, I'm hoping to have it repaired.
It clicks on and off when it's transmitting sound. Like it turns on, and it turns off, turns on, and turns off.
Just the notion of having a community kind of event where I could take my broken stuff and actually get it fixed, or work with experts to fix it myself, really just kind of at a visceral level was appealing to me. So I thought of it as a user of the Repair Cafe as opposed to an organizer of the Repair Cafe.
One of the beautiful and unexpected things I think about the Repair Cafe is the sense of community that springs up. So you see people sitting around in the cafe and they're, how'd your toaster go? This isn't a repair shop where you're going in and you have high expectations and you're paying a lot of money. It is a community-based effort.
It's interesting to see people come in with something that they like, they've used, and walk away with it fixed. And then there's always a good sense of feeling. I mean, they're smiling, they're happy.
To me, mostly it's sort of achieving the mission of not letting these things get thrown away. And it is fun. It's fun.
We're habituated away from fixing things. We've kind of created this culture of toss it. If you can't make it work, you toss it and you go down to Target and buy another one, because typically it's cheaper to do that. So what happens is the folks who are in their 50s to 70s have been around long enough to know how to take things apart and fix things. Then we have people from all age ranges who are just fix-it types, and they're curious about how things work, so they have kind of grown up tearing things apart and putting them back together, and they just like to do that kind of thing. No idea how many people are going to show. We've had everywhere from 300 people to our first event was 100 people. We'll see what happens. What we really would like to do is have people leave here with a sense of the value of participating in the repair and reuse of their own stuff. So to the degree that you can kind of engage them in the repair process, that is ideal.
So what I did was divide the different work areas so that we would have 2 lines. So one line handles large garden equipment, lamps, sewing projects, anything that's not the household appliances and electronics. So those were in a separate line. So we have different workstations that handle different things. We have 2 sets of registration tables, 2 sets of people running around and finding volunteers who are available. So we were prepared for another 300 people to show up.
Each station should be able to have epoxy and a super glue, so feel free to take those to your station with you, but just one of each. Let me know if you run out. Let me know if you run out of general supplies. There's electric cleaner, there's WD-40, there's all kinds of glues.
We are a family-owned store. We're 3rd generation hardware family. We really like our communities. We really like participating. ACE is helping out a cool neighborhood thing. The people who actually work there get to go talk to people in the community, which we actually just think is really fun.
It wants to rewind, but it's not rewinding. Why isn't it rewinding? Is there some gear? Is there some, what's the?
It does look like it's being fed too fast.
You almost want it to be pulled off of this. I don't know why it's even feeding.
Well, I was in London, there's a little Mac shop there, and they said, well, they do have some parts there sometime, but obviously I'm not going to take this thing to
Comes right out. Wow, look at that. Look at all that memory. Isn't that nice?
What are all the paths?
All these little trails, this is all the electrical things. This hooks all the different pieces together. So these are all little wires.
Oh! So the wires must be tiny to fit. with that much of a...
Yeah, and if you look at the new circuit boards today on like computers or cell phones, they're even smaller than this.
My hunch is many people think it's a little bit magical because a lot of the things that get brought in, they have an emotional attachment to. I remember one story of an old transistor radio that came in, and more than a transistor radio, it was the transistor radio of her, deceased husband, and to see that radio come back to life was more important than just the technologies.
But it seems like there's something at the bottom. But yeah, the might just be its top.
Success story.
You tightened up this control, which was all wobble, 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 and he showed me that sometimes something develops on the contacts behind these switches, so that if I rotate them, it should clean them, or if not, I can use a special spray for cleaning electronics. So I'm going to try that at home. Otherwise, it's much better already.
People really like coming and doing this and hanging out and just being part of the process. And it isn't really about the toaster that you fix or the microwave oven. It's about coming and hanging out with people who like to fix things, or being part of a community event where you're here with your neighbors and just sort of spending some time with like-minded people.